car wash. Isn't going to dry like you would at home. So here's what it looks like after the touchless. We had some bug stains here that are gone. Bug stains here that are gone. Now I've got a coating on here, so it cleans easier. And the coating is just a water-based. Ethos makes a couple different ones. Defy. Anyway, it does an okay job, but there's still little stuff here. And then I'm going to get a few light water spots. So I'm going to go ahead and do a waterless wash at this point. Okay. I got my knees pad for the wheels. I'm gonna open this guy up. Let's try to spread. So I'm combining rinseless with waterless washing, and Defy is the waterless wash I'm using today. Make sure you get all your products on sale. Ethos does have a lot of sales on Amazon periodically, and so I don't like to use waterless by itself because there's not enough water. I'm going to go ahead and put some gloves on. I'm at a city park, so hopefully I don't cause too much of a scene here, but I'm kind of off to this in the parking lot by myself in the shade. At home I don't have any shade, so it's kind of nice to go to the park. I do have shade like late at night and stuff, but not in the middle of the day. And you can use any waterless wash. Defy is probably the best, at least it's got the best protection. So here we go. I'm going to take some rinseless wash. This one's got previous stains on it, but it's still kind of soft. It is clean. Be careful when you're using sealants on your nice rags. This is called a double flip. These are Kirkland's. I like to use the small pile side, and because it's a little bit smoother, a little bit softer, I think. And these double flips are nice because you can flip this in and out, and you got 4 sides without falling apart on you. Again, these are just old stains. So I'm going to use a drying aid, and the drying aid is going to be this combined with this, and it's a combination rinseless with waterless and a little bit of a drying aid to it. And then I'm going to dry each section with a nice fresh super soft double flip. So let's get to it. I'll start with the roof. I'm going to climb up on the side of the door. I'm going to start with a little bit of Defy is a drying aid. I'm just going to come in. I'm not going to pre-soak or anything because I already went through the touchless wash. And that's it. This is a maintenance wash. If I had a real dirty vehicle, I guess I would go through it twice, but I don't go out in the mud. I'm just going to do a quarter of the roof while I'm up here. So I'm going to add a little bit more of this waterless wash to, this will be the drying aid part, just to add some extra lubrication. I don't want swirls. This is a no swirls video. But of course, nothing's perfect. Anytime you touch your car, you're going to get some micro scratching, at least under a microscope. And I'm going to turn it over to the dry side. I'm still going to put a little bit of this on it to help with the drying part. and the finishing of the drying. I'm going to go ahead and do the windshield. I'm going to come back and do the windshield with a different product, but I'll just get the big stuff off. And that's it for this quarter of the panel. I'm going to come over to the next section behind, and I'll do all 4 quadrants of my roof. Again, I did this side. I'll flip it over. Even though I can't see any dirt on it, you don't want to grind any dirt. Now see, there's some dirt here. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit it up with my drying towel. I'm going to use the same sides. I got a little bit of drying, a little bit of capacity left in my towel before I pull it inside out, and that's it. The shade helps a lot. You can do this in the sun, but it's just, you got to do real small portions. Then I get back on the tail section here, which I couldn't reach from the roof. I'm 6'2". You might want to bring a little step ladder if you need to. Every car is different. Got the kids crying in the background. All right, I'll show you the hood in a second. Okay, I grabbed a fresh microfiber out of the rinseless bucket. I completed the top of the car with one full double flip microfiber. I still have a little bit of capacity left in this one I used on the roof, so I'm going to try to use a little bit of that. Again, I'm going to put a little extra lubrication, and with the Defy, why not? And now I'm on the hood, getting some sun here. I'm going to do a cross hatch. I'm not putting a lot of pressure. We don't want swirls. You don't have to pay anybody hundreds of dollars to wash your vehicle. So if you don't know anything about washing cars, just take it to a touchless. Get yourself some waterless wash. Get yourself some good microfibers, towels. You don't have to use double flips. These are on Amazon. They're on other websites. I think these are the best that I know of, but there's lots of them out there. And then you can use the Kirklands. Just keep a light touch. The Kirklands, because they're thin, it's easy to put a lot of pressure, a lot more pressure, and that'll cause swirls if you push too hard. Everything causes swirls. Okay, under a microscope, you'll see that even this, what I'm doing, will show some swirls. So just make sure it's dried off. When you dry it, you want to flip it over to a dry side. Just get that last buff, that last sheen. Kind of losing track on which side I'm on, but that's okay. This is a maintenance wash. It's a very clean vehicle. If this was extra dirty, even if I went through twice on the touchless, I would take these and roll them so that you're not pushing the dirt into the car. Or you can rotate it this way. A couple different ways you want to do it, but it's a maintenance wash. So I know the car's pretty clean. I like this method better than just doing a rinseless as far as swirl marks. I like this so much better. I don't even do a waterless anymore. A waterless by itself without a pre-rinse is absolutely silly. No matter what it says on the bottle. So I would just think of a waterless wash as a glorified detail spray. and I'm using Defy, but if you can go, I've got some other ones. I'll test out a bunch. I've got a bunch of them, but one thing about Defy is it's really, you can get it in a gallon, which, and if you get it on sale, it's going to be cheaper than most of the store-bought stuff that's in the smaller containers, and it's pretty good on the, it's probably the best protection. But I've got some turtle wax, waterless. We'll go ahead and test those out. This one you can only get on the internet that I know of, Amazon and some other websites. Okay, so now I'm going to do the front grille. I'm going to go ahead and, instead of flipping this, I'm going to go ahead and use on the front grille because it's got a bunch of bug stuff probably. Again, I'm going to put a little extra wireless wash, and I'm going to hit this. Now remember, all this has been pre-rinsed, so even though there's no liquid left, there's some spots here you can see. Where's my license? Alright, so I'm going to dry off the front part of the car. Again, it's a maintenance wash. It's a very low miles. I don't have a lot of bug splatter, so I think most people, 90% maybe, if you do this every week, you don't have to worry about harsh chemicals. Extra. To worry about using harsh chemicals if you keep your car clean every week. I'm going to show you the wheels here in a little bit. So you just go around the whole car like this. Try not to push too hard. Nothing is perfect anytime you touch your car, but I'm thinking this is the best scenario situation where you do a touchless car wash. Especially if you're a hard-working person, you don't have time to wash your own car from scratch. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this inside out. And even though I don't see a lot of extra dirt, and don't be cheap, get a bunch of these, right? I typically use 3 for the cleaning and 3 to 4 for the drying. On the windows, this will clean your windows. I just don't use it on the, I finish the front windshield with another cleaner. I'll show you, just to make sure everything's off the front. But as far as the side windows, I just sprayed a little bit of the drying aid or a little bit of extra lubrication. But now I'm going to hit the window itself. I don't like a lot of ceramic on my windows, but doing it this way on the Defy's a ceramic waterless wash, and I don't want too much of that on my windows, especially the front windshield. Kind of has a little bit of a rainbow effect. But on the side windows, doing it this way where I don't have a lot of protection on the window itself, it works pretty good. And I flip it over. All right. Now I'm gonna need another double flip for drying. This one's reached its saturation point, where I'm just sort of smearing water around. All right, let me grab another towel. Okay, I grabbed another towel here, fresh one, and just hitting the windows and the mirror again. And now I'm gonna go ahead and hit everything here. Trying to keep a light touch. I should have put a little bit of drying aid / water wash, just a touch for extra lubrication. Okay, and I'm gonna flip it. I'll put a little bit more. There's a little something on there. All right, thank you. Trying to keep it clean. Yeah. You don't have to worry about scratches though, right? As much. All right, so driver's side's done. Again, I'm just adding some extra lubrication. I don't know what you want to call it. We can call it a drying aid if you want. This is a waterless wash mixed with rinseless. They're both made by Ethos in this case, but it just happened to work out that way today. I do like Ethos products, probably the best, but every company's got some products that really stand out. Turtle wax is fine if you want to go into Walmart and grab some of that. I got some, I'll show you that next time. Okay, again, I'm going to hit this with a little bit of drying aid. Just all I'm adding is some extra lubrication, and of course there'll be a little extra. And now I'll hit the window because a lot of the sealant is now on the door. Gonna flip it, and this is it. This window is 100% clean. No streaks, no nothing. I'm gonna come down here. I'm gonna put a little bit extra drying aid on it. And if I was doing this in direct sun, yeah, it's you really have to worry about streaks. So going to the local park is really nice. I'm gonna flip it, just add a little extra to it. Just give it that last little buff. Don't put too much of this on there. I'm just looking for a little extra lubrication. The goal here is no swirls. Swirl free. At least noticeable swirls. All right. You don't want to use a car wash that gives you swirls over time. Maybe you're young and you just bought your first new car. Maybe you're not young and you want to keep your car nice, or you got a high-end car. This car's 4 years old. We bought it when it was 4 years old, and I'm going to tell you, this is a pearl. I don't know if you can see it. It's a pearl white. It's got metal flake and white. So if you're going to use a standard car wash, this is the best color to get. So if you want to come and do this extra step, definitely a pearl or flake, metal flake type paint color, especially white, is the best color. There's swirls on here, but when I bought it, I looked at it from a distance and I go, that's the one I want. There was a bunch of used vehicles we were looking at. Still had the warranty on it, so it wasn't at a Lexus dealer, and they wouldn't say anything about the warranty, but I looked it up, found out it had another 6 months left. Called the dealer that sold it, and yeah, confirmed it. All right, now we're coming to the back, so I'm going to go ahead and change this out. Get another fresh towel. All right, grabbing another fresh towel, wring it out just enough so that it absorbs some dirt when you're going over the panels. If it's too wet, it'll just kind of push the dirt around. It's kind of standard rinseless practice. I'm not an expert. The point of this video is a lot of these videos on about washing your car are done by professionals, And I think they make it too complicated. And if you're in the detail business, you need to really make sure you're using aggressive chemicals, because your customers, you don't see them every week a lot of times. So this video is mainly about doing your own maintenance wash. If you try to do it at home, you got to be real careful of hard water. You can really screw it up. I've got 2 cars in my driveway. If I use my pressure sprayer, high pressure water sprayer, and I use city water, I can get it on the other car. So the one I'm working on, you know, I could use city water and be real careful and really fast, but then just that one little spray that hits the other car, you're screwed. So now I'm going to hit the window. I sprayed a little bit too much probably for the window as far as protection, but we'll see how it looks. I'm going to flip it over. I'm not looking for perfection either. It's another thing that will get you. Every tiny little speck of cleanliness. I want my car to be 97% clean. And then the following week, I'll probably get the rest of the dirt that I missed or something. Hopefully, see that thing sliding? Okay. So let me get down here. It does bunch up a little bit on this towel, but not nearly as bad as if you didn't have that corner sewed together. And as you're drying it, you should lighten it up. Lighten up as the liquid disappears, because that's where if you had a dry towel on the surface, especially if you're using, well, you should be using some kind of soap on there. I'm using rinseless with waterless, but even then, as it dries up and you start pushing too hard, it gets swirls. So be mindful as it dries. You want to lighten up. Yeah, I don't see any marks on this window. Hopefully you can see it in the camera. Looks good. I'm going to hit this quarter panel. Now I forgot which side I'm on. If these are clean, the reason my other ones have stains is because I let the ceramic dry. So these, you always keep them wet until you put them in the laundry, because this has ceramic in it. Anything that has ceramic or any protection will screw up your towels if you let them dry. So let's get this quarter panel. So far, easy peasy, right? You just wipe down your car. You need to wipe down your car anyway. There's no car automatic, especially an automatic car wash, that's going to get every one of your spots. They're always going to have spots. So you got to wipe down your car anyway. You want to wipe it down the right way. You might as well wipe it down so you get some extra cleaning power out of it. No swirls. If you go to one of those, there's a car wash near me that's like about 60 bucks. With tip, it's a hand wash, but they use scrub brushes, and when you go out and the guy details, now let me flip this over, and the guy details your car, you don't know where those rags have been. You can swirl up your car so fast. I'm going to be real light when I put this up there. Probably not the best spot to have it. Again, I'm going to do the window after I do some of the paint. I don't need that much protection on the windows. Okay, I'm going to just kind of leave that like that. I'll put it on the mirror. I'll go ahead and flip this around, put a little bit of drying aid on it, extra lubrication, and then of course there'll be some extra protection on the vehicle. You don't want to put too much of that. Your main goal is lubrication. Otherwise you get lots of streaks, especially in full sun. So I'm at a city park. Shade is very hard to find in my town. There's only like 2 city parks that even have a tree, a couple trees in the parking lot. And I'm filming. People get nervous when you're around the playgrounds and stuff. So I got a camera on my head. But if I didn't have the camera, no, people really shouldn't bother you, even though they do sometimes. Sometimes you get a lot of weirdos in public. I had one kid, I thought he was 14, but he said he was 18, just wouldn't leave me alone. Wanted a job cleaning my car, and when I said no, he really started screwing with me. Anyway, so I'm going to do the outer edge here. Come in, flip it, do the window. It's really annoying, the key keeps opening and closing these mirrors. Again, if I miss a spot, it's not a big deal. Next week I'll hit it. I don't want hard water spots, and I don't want swirls. And I want my car to be 97% clean. And then the next week, if you do this on a weekly basis, whatever 3% you missed, you'll get it next week. This costs $9 for the now you can see I haven't finished the window, the front windscreen, so let's go ahead and do that. So it's $9 plus, you know, whatever chemicals here. I've got distilled water in here. I buy those at a local detail shop for like 1/3 the price of store-bought distilled water, but even if it was distilled water, it's fine. I mean, it's still economical. So anyway, this is what I'm going to use on the windshield. 32-ounce bottle, a 1/2 ounce of the Ethos waterless wash in here, and then 2 ounces of McGuire's wax, spray wax. I buy the gallon one, but you can go to you can use the smaller bottle. And the reason I put the wax is it makes it slick. If your window's not slick, what happens is it grabs the lint from your rags. And some rags have less lint than others, but if you just want to use these Costco ones, it helps to have some of that lubrication, and then the lubrication also gives you that nice water beading when it rains and when your car is clean. I do not like ceramic on my window. It has a rainbow effect on it, and also when the wipers are being used, it'll have a buildup. It'll make a line on your windshield. So this ratio of that I have here, I don't get that line on my windshield wipers. Okay, the other side. Again, this is maintenance. If this window was really dirty, I'd have to hit it with some more aggressive window cleaners. But if you do this every week, you don't need all those strong chemicals. And now these wipers of mine, I have to lift them up, so I typically do those separate at the end here. Flip the rag, give it a nice buff. Okay. I don't know if you can see the window. There's a bug already. Nope, that's a little crack. Window's kind of pretty slick. Nice feel to it. There's no streaks. It's got little, again, this is almost 5 years old, this car. Nothing's perfect. Okay, let me do the wheels. Okay, I'm just going to do one wheel here. Again, this is maintenance. If you have a really nasty wheel, you may need to do something more aggressive. But if you do this every week, you should be fine. If you're a professional detailer, you need strong chemicals. You're dealing with customers with pretty dirty things, or dirty cars. So I've got the rinseless in this rag. See it? I'm going to go ahead and hit it with this. I'm not going to worry about the barrels. That's just something I don't have to do every week. I'm going to leave that out of this video. But I'm going to do the whole face. So I'm going to do the whole face here. I'm going to go ahead and use the brush in here, just a real quick. They do get extra dirty in there, and I'm going to wipe the whole thing down. I'm going to do the tires at home. I forgot to bring my wheel pad that I use. I'll show you that. Just go over this kind of lightly, and then I go into the groove. Every wheel's a little different. Now I do like extra protection on my wheels, so I'm going to go ahead and spray this again and then dry it off. There's a little something there. This is a painted wheel, right? So you want to treat it just like your car paint. I do use a fairly clean microfiber. I don't like to use those old dirty microfibers for a painted wheel. And I'm going to get in this crack here on each spoke. Alright. Well, sometimes you get buildup in here. You got to push a little harder than I'd like to, but that's the only way. Either that or you use a harsh chemical. And that's it. That's how you clean your wheels. And I'll show you the tires when I get home. See ya. Okay, when you're done, I'm getting ready to leave the park. I keep the rags here so they're not mixed in with the clean water, and then I throw them down in here, the dirty rags. This is from the wheels and the windows. Just make sure everything's wet. These are dry, clean. I don't put those in here. And then when I get home, I do the laundry. And that keeps anything with protection on your rags from screwing them up, for the most part. All right, so I've got this in a lotion bottle, old lotion bottle, and it's the Armor All Basic Armor All protectant, old school protectant. It's been around since, I don't know, the 70s or something. What I like about it, it doesn't have a lot of shine or too much shine. And also clean. So this is an old sponge applicator with the nice exterior on here, microfiber. But that's dirt. It picks up dirt. So I have both cleaning and protection and shine in one application. And again, this is a maintenance. This is not, if you have really bad tires, you're gonna probably need to scrub them. But here's what I do. So I did the wheels at the park. I come in here and give it a nice application. I usually do it twice. I reserve each of the 4 sections available, one for each tire. I put an extra amount, and again I go around it, and then at the last second I hit this inside piece because I don't want it dripping all over the wheel. And then I go back around and even everything out. And that's it. I just completed the tires on a weekly basis. That's all you need to do. And you can see it's extra dirty. So I'm cleaning, I'm protecting, and I'm shining all in one application. And there's no sling. It's a water-based application, and it's very thin. I've been contemplating getting something thicker that's water-based and maybe diluting it. Looks like there's a little something there. That's the weights. So this is dry and have a nice shine to it. That's it. We're done. Car is complete. Everything's clean, nice and shiny. Here's the tire from the previous week. Doesn't look too bad, but I'll put another application on it. So I do that every week with the Armor All. It lasts a full week for sure. Yeah, it's a weekly wash, no swirls. Easy peasy. If you're working hard for a living, you can go to these touchless car washes. You can get a membership at some of them. Some of them, one local to me, you can request to have the brushes pulled back, so you can get a membership for 25 bucks. Without the lowest level is 25, and you don't want the sealants anyway, because all you're doing is sealing the dirt into your car, and then you're putting your own sealant on it afterwards when you wipe it down. Good deal. There's the windshield, nice and shiny, slick. Good deal. Okay, so it's wash time. I have two cars that I do this procedure with, and so I don't do it the same day, but I'll wait 2 days and then do all the laundry at that time. Usually. Sometimes I run out of rags, but everything's wet. Okay? You don't want that ceramic to dry in your nice microfibers. If I'm doing some sealant application, I'll use the Kirkland's, or I'll use these kind. Look how dirty that is from the tires. Yeah, you don't want that ceramic sealing into your microfiber, because it'll ruin them. There won't be absorbent anymore. So just keep them wet. Keep them with some soap in here. Put a stronger soap if you're going to leave it for a few days. Super Clean was in my other. Put a little Super Clean in there. That's it. Do your laundry. Now this has a sponge in it, so I don't put this in the dryer when I'm done, but it's fine in the laundry. Get them all in there. Now if you live in an apartment, this can be a little bit cumbersome, so you want to wait until you have all your laundry ready to go. Put a little stronger soap in there maybe if you're going to wait. So that's fine. You do a regular wash, and then when you come over to the dryer, I always select permanent press or delicate, but permanent press is my go-to. And again, I don't put sponges in here. I just let them air dry. But the dryer is the biggest culprit for any type of textile type of material, as far as wearing out your rags or your clothes or anything like that. So keep the heat low, and you're good to go. Fold them when you're done. If they're not quite dry all the way, that's fine. Just fold them in a way to let them finish air drying. Anyway, that's it. Good luck out there. No more swirls. No more complicated YouTube videos. No more expensive chemicals. You don't need to know how to do anything. You go to one of these touchless, and you wipe down your car gently with a nice microfiber with some rinseless in a bucket, and then you add some waterless wash. Doesn't have to be ethos, and you can use turtle wax to add a little extra lubrication, because that's the biggest complaint of rinseless washing, is it doesn't have as much lubrication as regular soap. So if you're not familiar, you're going, oh, I better wash my car at home. That's the only way to do it. That's bullshit. So add that extra lubrication on the wash process, and then when you go to dry, use a little bit of a drying aid to get some more extra lubrication, and you're good to go. Thank you for watching.